Hey Scrappy Peeps, Suzanna here today to share with you my process video for this layout that I created using this month's sketch at Cocoa Daisy. This is the July 2017 sketch challenge, and that's the sketch that I created to use this layout. So you can see there was two columns, one on the left and one on the right, and sort of skewed more to the left hand side of the page. And instead of photos and other embellishments, I decided to use these die cuts using the Cocoa Daisy subscriber exclusive digital die cuts as the left hand side of my page. The digital cut file doesn't come with a background to the scoop, so I basically just traced it in my Silhouette Design Studio and just created a background so that it was more of a 3D, actually 4D sort of ice cream on the left hand side of the page. And then the single scoop that came with it, I just cut using some pattern papers in two different sizes. I had a big scoop and a little scoop and kind of skewed them over to the left there to create the left border of my ice cream. I will tell you that that brown that's on top, the floral brown, is from it's actually floral on the other side, it's polka dot, is from a previous Cocoa Daisy kit. I wanted some quote-unquote chocolate ice cream, and that's what I decided to go with. And then these are the elements that I use for that right hand block. It's a picture of my daughter and some of the elementary school aged neighborhood kids. At the end of every school year we have an ice cream social, and that's what the title ends up being, is Neighborhood Ice Cream Social, which will go on the right hand side, and you'll see that happen in a little bit. And then I used that day in the life card at the bottom there, and I didn't show you the cutting out of the star because the cutting out of the star happened when I created the pocket page that I shared earlier this week. And I loved the way that this star was sort of a window in the card, and just decided to use the back side of that as the pocket card there, and the star worked perfectly with the other. You'll see I put a chipboard star from the collection. So I used that tag pattern paper, which is also a subscriber exclusive. There were 6 of them in this month's July kits, and I used that as a tag to fill in the glassine bag. And they were just goodies that came in the glassine bag, and I just repurposed that. And this is the subscriber exclusive washi. There's a lot of subscriber exclusive this month, and I thought that created a fun border to the day in the life card and just jazzed it up a little bit. Then I also took one of the tags that was just the top of the tag, and I had that poking out of the picture. And I used some of the ephemera from the Fancy Pants collection, as well as Cocoa Daisy subscriber exclusives. So this tag that I used for the title, it said neighbor, actually said neighbors with an exclamation point, and I just cut off the S and the exclamation point so that it worked for the title that I wanted to use. I love these stamps from the Day in the Life kit, and I thought that they would be fun to add and perfect for the theme. That bottom stamp that I stamped there says, "You had me at food," and then I'm going to stamp, it's got check boxes for food, friends, and sun, and I checked all of those boxes that you'll see I put right there, and I just used the Heidi Swap navy blue ink. I will remind you that, as I did earlier this week, that when you use the Day in the Life cards, they have a glossy finish to them. And so things tend to slide when you ink on them, and they do take a while to dry. So just keep those things in mind when you're using the Cocoa Daisy Day in the Life cards. And I also used a print and cut file, that little circle up there. And I decided I used the ribbon that came with the kit as on the tag, but I didn't want to use it in the usual knot. So I used some Twinery twine, which is from my own stash, to just tie the flip half of the ribbon, just to add a different look to the ribbon there, and it got a little bit of added color to the layout. And I learned from when I designed for Twinery that you do tie bows upside down per se, in order to get them to lay the direction that you want them to, with the strings hanging down instead of up. Otherwise the direction, they become warped. So I will just put some adhesive on the back of the top of that tag and tuck that in behind the picture. That is not functional as a tag there. It's more just decorative. That's why I've got just the top there. And I do actually journal on this page. I don't show my journaling typically in my videos, but I did journal underneath the title after I put that in there. Now that tag bothers me in the glassine bag. It's not patterned enough, so I decide that I want to fill that with something else. And as I'm filling that something else, or trying to figure out what that something else is going to be, I discover the ice cream that's on the back of that pattern paper. And so I could have just flipped the tag over, but if I did that, then the ice cream was going to be going the wrong way. So what I decided was that I needed to recut that tag, and you'll see that process coming up in a little bit. In the meantime, while I've been blabbing about ice cream and tags going the wrong way, I have just been embellishing the page, just adding a few more fun elements to this. I put that chipboard star from the exclusives next to the star that's cut out from the Day in the Life card, and the hearts from the Fancy Pants embellishment pack. I just popped those on some foam adhesive, double-sided tape, and stuck that underneath the hearts. And I'm working on the title now. I thought it would be fun to use some of those words from the Pretty Little Studio stickers, but there wasn't really anything that needed that darker color. That little tag, also from Pretty Little Studios, was perfect to cover up the minivan that's in the back of the picture there. I had too much depth of field on in my camera, and so when I took this picture, it was actually on my cell phone, so I couldn't control it. The car came out pretty sharp in focus, and I could have edited it in Photoshop, but knew that I could probably find an embellishment to stick over that, so I stuck that little tag thing. So there's that ice cream I was babbling about sideways, and so I just decided to cut another tag and make the tag go the right way of the ice cream. Only smart Suzanna, when she cut the tag for the ice cream, the tag was on the inside of the glassine bag, and so we had to fix that and trim the tag to make it work the right way. And I actually didn't punch a hole in it, and I didn't put any ribbon in because I liked it just sticking out the way that it is, and I like the way that that ice cream paper in the glassine bag sort of fills up that space there. So we've got the layout looking the way that we want to, and it's just time to do a little bit of title work. I knew it was going to be Neighborhood Ice Cream Social. I just had to figure out how social was going to work. So I just have some wax paper to stick ice cream on so that I can make sure that I lay that all out straight, and then I'll rip away the wax paper once I've stuck the top half of the stickers down, leaving the bottom half to sort of just smush down. And I think what I omit from the video here is how I end up getting social on there. I've just used one of the label chipboard stickers from the Cocoa Daisy exclusives, and then I just literally hand wrote social in there to complete the title. I toyed around with the idea of adding some mist, but I really like that cloud background, and it was perfect. In fact, I like the cloud background so much that I used it twice on this layout, and another one that you'll see coming up towards the end of the month. So in a minute, we're going to call that done, and I have a few close-ups to follow. If you enjoyed this process, please leave some thumbs up for me. If you don't subscribe, I'd love to have you join me and see other productions that come up your way. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. Thanks for stopping in, and we'd love to see you participate in the sketch challenge this month. Thanks!